Twilight. As I understand it, Spike brought Princess Cadence the crystal heart because you weren't sure how quickly you could find a way to escape the tower. You weren't willing to risk the future of the citizens of the Crystal Empire in an effort to guarantee your own. Far better that I have a student who understands the meaning of self-sacrifice than one who only looks out for her own best interests. Dear Princess Celestia, it's great to have fun, but it's even greater to have great friends. And having lots of friends means that you sometimes have to make choices as to who you'll spend your time with. But that's okay, because good friends will always give you lots of opportunities to have fun. So even if you're missing out, it's never for long. Respectfully yours, Pinkie Pie. Every pony has fears, Scootaloo. Every pony must face them in their own way, but they must be faced, or the nightmares will continue. Face your fears. Yeah, well, that effective tactic nearly took out my friends. No disrespect, ma'am, but there's a big difference between pushing yourself as hard as you can and just being reckless. And if being reckless is what gets rewarded around here, if that's what it means to be a Wonderbolt, then I don't want any part of it. Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned a great lesson about family, which, if you think about it, is really the first group of friends you ever make. Turns out that when you're with folks you care about, you don't have to do much to make that time memorable. Even the simplest of activities can take on a whole lot of meaning. And you'll find that you'll remember the who long after you've forgotten the what. Your humble subject, Applejack. I know this code thing's important to you, but if something like this comes up in the future, think maybe we could go back to my code, say, that's what friends do, and leave it at that. I promise I won't think of you as any less noble. I like it better my way, but I guess when you're friends, you can't always have things exactly your way all the time, eh? You were right when you said Fluttershy would be the one to find the way to reform Discord. By treating Discord as a friend, she got him to realize that friendship was actually important to him, and something that, once he had, he didn't want to lose. You know, it feels good to help others get something they always wanted but never had. Almost as good as getting it yourself. Almost. A little while ago, my teacher and mentor, Princess Celestia, sent me to live in Ponyville. She sent me to study friendship, which is something I didn't really care much about. But now, on a day like today, I can honestly say I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for the friendships I've made with all of you. Each one of you taught me something about friendship, and for that, I will always be grateful. Today, I consider myself the luckiest pony in Equestria. Thank you, friends. Thank you, every pony. You're right about one thing, Applejack. The elements of harmony did bring us together. But it isn't the elements that will keep us connected. It's our friendship. And it's more important and more powerful than any magic. My new role in Equestria may mean I have to take on new responsibilities, and our friendships may be tested, but it will never, ever be broken. Well, it's good to know that whenever your imagination is getting away from you, a good friend can help you rein it in. And even though I didn't find anything out about the mysterious chest, I'm glad I was here to help all of you. You certainly did that, Twilight. Yeah, why weren't you scared? Reading Celestia's diary made it hard to be afraid, because I knew what it was like when she and Luna lived here. Knowing something about the past made it easier to deal with my problems in the present, even the scary ones. Just had the coolest adventure with the coolest pony ever. Came this close to blowing it because I got so wrapped up in how awesome she was, I almost forgot about how awesome I was. Good thing I didn't, because it gave me a chance to show her how important it is to put your trust in some pony else. But flying is what Pegasus ponies are supposed to do. You flew when you carried the flag in the games. But that was me. You're you. And it just doesn't matter if you can fly or not. Your routine was amazing because it represented exactly what makes Ponyville special. But Rainbow Dash, what if my wings never grow? What if I never fly? Listen, Scootaloo, maybe you'll fly someday, and maybe you won't. You're all kinds of awesome anyway. We wouldn't have made it without you, Spike, and I hope you realize that just because we don't always need your help, it doesn't mean that we don't think you're helpful, and that you don't have to have superpowers to be a super friend. I came to see that my short-term solution was a little short-sighted, and that you shouldn't let any pony pressure you into doing something you don't think is right. Sometimes you have to tell even your closest friends, no. Manhattan was simply grand. It was in this magnificent metropolis that I learned that while there are ponies who will take advantage of your generosity, you should never, ever let that cause you to abandon your generous spirit. Nothing feels worse than taking advantage of the giving nature of your friends. Think I'll write about how being a good family isn't about being perfect as much as it is about being able to get through the rough patches together, about being able to forgive each other for mistakes. Don't forget to mention how really good friends can also feel like your family. Oh, I can't deny it. I love to win. But if I ever have to choose between winning and my friends, I'm always gonna choose my friends. 'Cause as much as I love winning, I love them way more. I think it's pretty clear that my visit with Cadence didn't go quite the way I expected. But in the end, I realized that when you're with a good friend, even the most chaotic day can end up being a great experience. Pinky, wait. I'm sorry. I got all swept away by cheese sandwich. No, I'm sorry. I let my pride get in the way of you having the best birth-iversary ever. Cheese Sandwich really is a super duper party planner, and he'll be a terrific headliner. I should have been a big enough pony to admit that and let you have your day. But don't you get it? You're both super duper party ponies. Sure, Cheese Sandwich is a great guest party pony, but you're Ponyville's permanent party pony. No pony could ever take your place, and we could never have a party without you. Organizing the Ponyville Days celebration was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I learned an important lesson. Real friends will like you for who you are, and changing yourself to impress them is no way to make new ones. And when you're as fabulous as I am, it's practically a crime. Sometimes being afraid can stop you from doing something that you love. But hiding behind these fears means you're only hiding from your true self. It's much better to face those fears so you can shine and be the best pony you can possibly be. I guess Twilight must not be so super upset anymore, because she's letting us do a diary entry like our sisters do. Boy, did we get our priorities mixed up. We started acting special because we were friends with someone special. We almost forgot the real reason she's special, because she's our friend. But she forgave us, and like magic, things are good as new. That's the kind of magic I really want to get good at, now that I'm getting so good at the other kind. We're just glad Twilight time is back to normal. Well, almost back to normal. My experiences with the Breezies have helped me to see that kindness can take many forms, and sometimes being too kind can actually keep a friend from doing what they need to do. Pushing them away may seem cruel, but it's sometimes the kindest thing you can do. I guess I did get a little carried away watching over you, and if you hadn't snuck out like you did, maybe I wouldn't have figured that out. Yes, now that is the kind of looking out for me I can definitely appreciate. I'm sorry I put so much pressure on every pony to bond. I only wanted my friends to get to know my amazing older sister. Pinkie Pie's happiness means as much to us as it does to you. And we're sorry we couldn't see it sooner. The thing that makes us click and makes a special bond between us is how much we all love Pinkie Pie. I'm sorry I got jealous about those dresses. I know now that you were only trying to help. Being honest sure gets hard when it seems like the truth might hurt some pony you care about. But I think believing a lie can end up hurting them even more. Maybe some ponies don't care about that, but I sure ain't one of them. Rainbow Dash finally learned the history of the Wonderbolts, but she's not the only pony that needed a lesson. I needed to learn something just as important. One way of learning isn't better than another. After all, every pony is unique and individual. None of those ponies had anything valuable enough to trade for my books, not because these books belong to a princess, but because they helped make me who I am. Just like you said, this was the one I was so absorbed in the day Spike decided he owed Applejack a life debt. And this one reminds me of the day I got it, which was the day I met you. I may not ever need to read these again, but that doesn't mean they don't have value. I did want that book, a lot. I said I wanted it more than anything in all Equestria, but there's no thing that's worth as much to me as a friend. I might have forgotten that for a little bit, but it's true. Today I learned how important it is to be honest with your friends when they're doing something that you don't think is right. A true friend knows that you're speaking up because you care about them. You know, it's kinda weird. No matter how many times others tell you you're great, all the praise in the world means nothing if you don't feel it inside. Sometimes, to feel good about yourself, you gotta let go of the past. That way, when the time comes to let your greatness fly, you'll be able to light up the whole sky. Turek tricked me into believing that he could offer me something more valuable than friendship, but there is nothing worth more. I see that now. He lied when he said that this medallion was given as a sign of gratitude and loyalty. But when I say that it is a sign of our true friendship, I am telling the truth. You've been wondering what you are meant to do as a princess. Do you know now? As princess, I believe I have the power to spread the magic of friendship across Equestria. That is the role I am meant to have in our world, the role I choose to have. But I didn't defeat Tyrek on my own. It took all of us to unlock the chest. Then it is unlikely you are meant to take on this task alone. You are now Twilight Sparkle, the Princess of Friendship. But what is the Princess of Friendship without her friends? And as for now, that's all there is. There isn't any more.